So we have the light arrows now, which means we can do something special in this room. So we're gonna have a Phantom Ganon pop up. I don't know which one was real. That would be a bad fight anyway. He was by himself. Wow, I cannot see him. So when we hit him with a light arrow, he will actually be defeated. So this is your last chance to get a photo of him if you have not done so already. After this, he is completely unavailable. Like how I took out 2 of the fake ones. Also, this does take magic like the other 2 arrows, so obviously don't spam fire, because I'll just burn through your magic. You kind of can't spam fire, it kind of limits you. And conveniently, we can refill hearts and magic in this and the next room, so we can just kind of go crazy with the light arrows from here on out. Yeah, so my big issue with Ganon's Tower in this particular game is it's just really short. It's like, it's not a bad dungeon, it's just, I kinda wish there was more of it because it just goes by super fast. Because we're already in the final stretch. So the gimmick of this is we need to defeat every enemy in this stair section. Which is completely trivialized because we have light arrows now. Even the dark nuts go down in 1 hit. And like so. So yeah, it's like this is kind of not super challenging because they give you light arrows. I don't think Ocarina had an enemy requirement. I don't think they were really enemies. I think the stairs were mostly just for visual. These are the ones with capes again, so if you missed them before, this is your last chance to get a photo of them. And there you go. Do you sleep still? Wait. Do not be so hasty, boy. I can see this girl's dreams. Oceans. 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 Oceans as far as the eye can see. They are vast seas. None can swim across them. They yield no fish to catch. What did the king of Hyrule say? That the gods sealed Hyrule away? And he left behind people who would one day awaken Hyrule? How ridiculous. So many pathetic creatures scattered across a handful of islands, drifting on the sea like fallen leaves on a forgotten pool. What can they possibly hope to achieve? Don't you see? All of you. Your gods destroyed you. I've been waiting for you, boy. For one like you. Yes, for the hero. Do not betray my expectations. And this is Puppet Ganon. So we need the boomerang actually, so I'm gonna equip that. So he has different strings attached to different parts, like a puppet, obviously, hence Puppet Ganon. In this form, at least. It becomes a little bit more of a confusing name as the fight goes on, to be honest. But we kind of want to cut down the string holding up its weak point, which is the tail. So once the tail is in an easier to hit spot, we can just pop it with a light arrow, like so. Except I missed. This is like a really awkward phase, actually. Phase 2 I find really easy, and Phase 3 I find also kind of difficult. This actually reminds me a little bit of Majora in some ways. You have one kind of difficult phase, you have a really kind of jokey phase in the middle, and then you have a legitimate final boss after that. Not that this is the actual final boss in this particular scenario, but just as an analogy. You can actually move the camera completely top down, which will come in handy in a bit, actually. I don't know what the boomerang was trying to accomplish there. So the bats will, or the keys, will drop arrows and magic and hearts if you need them. Like that. So you can't get soft lock. And you can't get a soft lock in this room, which is good. Always good game design to avoid that. I don't know if there are any games like where you could get legitimately soft locked super badly. I can't think of any. First thing to come to mind is Paper Mario Color Splash, where you can technically get soft locked on like regular encounters. We actually don't need the boomerang anymore, but phase 2 is really easy. You just have to watch the reflection, and then once it lands, you just fire an arrow. That's literally all this takes. You can always use this as a good recovery phase as well, since Ganon itself is not going to be that much of a threat to you. I spent so long trying to get the keys in order to get a drop. I almost messed up the actual hit there. Because I kind of would like a little bit more magic going into this next phase, to be honest. Guess I'm not getting any. So now he's like a little worm or a caterpillar or something. And this is a really hard phase because you just have to kind of lead shots, and this is something I really can't do well in this game. Like that, I tried to hit and I couldn't. There we go, one hit. I don't think that should have hit actually. It looked like it was slightly to the left. Like I tried to lead it there and I hit the body instead, which does no damage. It has to be the orb on the tail. Also, this is like, I think the reflections along with all the little urchin enemies and also all the yeah, all the water effects and also just Ganon crashing around, it just really kind of tanks the frame rate for this particular phase. And this is just kind of chaotic, so I actually prefer phase 1 and 2, because this is just kind of a mess. Like, I can barely see, because he's just kind of keeping me stuck in this corner. There we go, that's hit number 2, I think. You at least have nearly full magic, so that's always a good sign. Too late. There we go. Yes, surely you're the hero of Time Reborn. Your time has come. Come now and stand before me. Alright, so not the most elegant fight, but not too bad either. There's a cauldron down here, and this will warp you to the top once you actually make it to the top and open up that other cauldron. Just occurred to me, this is kind of like Banjo-Kazooie, using cauldrons as warps. I like the idea of like when you defeat Puppet Ganon, how the string controlling it is just kind of left here as a sort of exploration item. Not really an item, but just as a means to get through. Alright, so we've reached the top. So now we need to carefully, and by carefully I mean without falling all the way back down, climb the rest of the way. And then hook shot at the end. It is cool that you do have to use the grappling hook, but again, I do find the grappling hook slightly underused. But not too bad. I still think Twilight Princess does it a little bit worse in terms of not really having items matter after a certain point. I feel like kind of like sort of biased against Twilight Princess, to be honest, because it's like whenever it comes to Zelda games, like Twilight Princess is like one of the ones I'm the most iffy on, and I kind of feel a little like I don't know if I'd be in the minority, because I know a lot of people are a little bit more on Twilight Princess, but I kind of would put that probably a little closer to the bottom if I had to rank Zelda games. At least for 3D. I feel like 2D and 3D I'd almost put in different categories because of how wildly different they are. Hook shot, and I guess bow. Also, this is your last chance to save. There's no post-game, so if you don't save here, you have to actually refight Ganon if you just want to replay the final boss, so I guess I'll save. My country lay within a vast desert. When the sun rose into the sky, a burning wind punished my land, searing the world, and when the moon climbed into the dark of night, a frigid gale pierced our homes. No matter when it came, the wind carried the same thing: death. But the winds that blew across the green fields of Hyrule brought something other than suffering and ruin. I coveted that wind, I suppose. Can only be called fate. That here I would again gather the three with the crests. That I should lay my hand on that which grants the wishes of the beholder. That when power, wisdom, and courage come together, the gods would have no choice but to come down. The power of the gods, the Triforce, he who touches it will have whatever he desires granted. Already the crest of wisdom is mine. All that remains. Do not fear, I will not kill you. I merely have need of the power that dwells within you. Now, let us put an end to that which binds us together. Gods, hear that which I desire. Expose this land to the rays of the sun once more, let them burn forth. Give Hyrule to me. He who touches it will have whatever he desires granted. That is what you said, is it not, Ganondorf? Gods of the Triforce, hear that which I desire. Hope. I desire hope for these children. Give them a future. Wash away this ancient land of Hyrule. Let a ray of hope shine on the future of the world. And let our destinies finally be fulfilled. Ganondorf, may you drown with Hyrule. This is foolishness. A future for you? Why are you laughing at, Ganondorf? You're insane. Link, I'm sorry, I overslept. I think it's time for us to say goodbye to this place. We must return to the world above, back to our ocean. Very well then, allow me to show you. Your future? Yes, allow me to show you just what hope you have. See how much your precious Triforce is worth.